Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Muhammad Arsalan Siddiqui, your functional English teacher, and today we are in continuation of our lectures on functional English, particularly in relation with the writing speaking. So the grammar parts that we are going to cover are two today because I chose the two important grammar topics that you need to be covering. Number one is the passive voice, uh, because a lot of people believe that in order to have good writing, and it is a fact that in fact in order to have good writing skills you need to have good command on using passive voice naturally. If you don't use passive voice naturally, then obviously your English would have problems and it would not be sounding or looking natural or closer to natural language. So let's see why we use passive voice and what passive voice is first before we get into the form and the meaningful detail of it. We should have a clear background of it. The first thing that if you have on your mind is why use passive voice when we have an active voice. And obviously, when we start learning English, we use active first. The second thing is that in schools or in colleges or in certain areas, we are taught passive voice, but we are taught passive from transformation process, like converting an active sentence into passive voice. These two things create confusion among students, and they feel that there is no need for passive to be used in our daily conversation, and it is an additional stuff of grammar. On the other hand, in English, there are two voices. Voice means the sound, the person, the one you hear, and it is natural because in English or in any language, the sentence depends on its voice. That what is the most important part of the sentence that should come first. So if subject is important, that is an active voice. But if object is important, that is not an active voice, that is the passive voice. The object. Or if action is important, more important than subject, then again it's passive voice. So we do not deliberately or intentionally use passive voice to make things difficult. Rather, we use it naturally to correspond our language or our expression in writing and speaking naturally. Let me give you some examples from English and then from Urdu so that your understanding can be more relatable. For example, the simplest sentence we use about mangoes and Pakistan, that the best quality mangoes are grown in Pakistan. Okay, we have been so much comfortable growing mangoes that mangoes are now exported. Sorry, they are now exported. So mangoes are exported, mangoes are grown. Both of them are passive voice. Then there is no need for buy someone, buy farmer, buy Pakistan government. There is no need for it. So these are the natural sentences. The second sentence that I'm going to tell you is very natural. I was born. I was born. I was born is a natural passive sentence. It does not have an active sentence. Okay. Next, in Urdu, in many areas, we use the sentences, the passive sentences naturally without any confusion. For example, uh, you parked your bike or car outside. You came in, and now you're going back. You found out that there is no car, there is no bike of yours. तो एकदम बोलते हैं यार मेरी कार चोरी हो गई, मेरी बाइक चोरी हो गई, मेरा मोबाइल छिन गया. सही है, ये तीनों सेंटेंसेस पैसिव है अगर आप देखें तो. My bike has been stolen, my car has been stolen, my mobile has been snatched. ये पैसिव सेंटेंसेस हैं. Okay, so there is no need for uh, you do not think that passive is something that's a deliberate action. So we use now, but where we use passive and why we use passive voice. At certain level, at this stage of learning, you should know two things. Number one, we use passive voice when our object becomes more important than subject. For example, at certain international airport, some Pakistanis or the custom authorities have treated Pakistanis badly. So in Pakistan, whenever people will talk, they would not say that at certain customs, at certain airport, they treated us badly. They say Pakistanis were treated badly because the subject is more important than so object is more important than subject. Our fellow men were treated badly or they were maltreated. Similarly, when we are writers, authors, speakers are interested in object more than subject, such as Benazir Bhutto Shahid example that I always quote, that on 27 December 2007, Benazir Bhutto was assassinated. We don't know who assassinated her, but for us, we are more interested in Benazir Bhutto. What happened on 27 December 2007? Benazir Bhutto was assassinated. She was murdered. Although we know the murderers, we know the names. Similarly, when number of subjects are not clear, or they are unobvious, or they are obvious, like farmers grow mangoes, but we would not say farmers grow mangoes because it is obvious. So we'll say mangoes are grown in Pakistan. Mangoes are grown in Pakistan. Okay. So if you look at this example, we can find out the house was built in 1981. By whom we are not concerned. I'm talking about this house, like I'm going to sell this house. So somebody comes and says that what is the historical value of this house? Say the house was built in 1981. So it's almost 40 years. Great. Compare the active and passive. Somebody built the house in 1981. I don't know who that person is. So I'm not concerned. Now, if we see more examples, we use many active verbs, say what the subject does. My grandfather was a builder, he built the house in 1981. So I'm interested in talking about my grandfather, then I will use the passive voice because the one who is doing an action is available. 200 people, acha. It's a big company. It belongs to my friend. It employs 200 people. I'm interested in talking about company, not the employment. Okay. But when we use passive verb, we say what happens to the subject. Like the action is more important than the subject. How old is this house? It was built in 1981. 200 people are employed here in this company or by this company. So it's here. Okay, so you can see that the difference between using active and passive, they are natural. You can never say that. Now if we see the examples, we use the passive. Who or what causes the action is often unknown to and unimportant. A lot of money was stolen in the robbery. We know who the like we don't know who the robbers are, but we are actually talking about a lot of money. Okay, is this room cleaned every day? Does somebody do it? But it's not important. For me, the room is important. Okay, here we are. The passive is, what is the structure of the passive? Now let's look at what the structure of the passive is. It's pretty simple. It starts with object, subject, object, okay, and the object is volumes now. Object is verified by followed by the verb, and it is followed by the verb, and then the verb third form. In any case, it will be followed by verb third form. You can see be done, be damaged, be built, be seen. Here be refers to am is are was were. So in passive we use am is are was were with the verb, but actually we use the third form verb. You can see more examples here. Many accidents are caused by careless driving. Somebody cleans this room. I'm not invited to parties very often. Like I'm a very boring person. Yeah, I'm not very social, so I'm not invited to the parties. Then we have how is this word pronounced? We don't say how do people pronounce this word. Say how is this word pronounced? Because pronunciation of word is important, not how people pronounce it. Okay, we were waken up by a loud noise during the night. Did you go to the party? No, I wasn't invited. How much money was stolen in the robbery? So even in overall context, you can find one or two, three sentences. Now, where do you usually find passive sentences? There are three or four stances. Walaikum assalam, Sarj. There are three or four stances where you use passives majorly. In news or newspapers, you can find a lot of passive voice in headings. In report writing, you will find passive voice. In letter writing, you will find passive voice. Like your action will be appreciated. So let's see how you do this exercise. Many accidents are caused by careless driving. You have some verbs which you have to utilize at least once in a sentence. So for you, you have time. I would like you to write down these sentences in the comments. Thank you. Go ahead quickly. Cheese. What word would you use for cheese? Cheese are made. You can comment your answers. You can comment these. You can write these sentences in comments. The roof of the building was damaged in a storm a few days ago. Do not mix passive voice with narrations. They are the different thing. And in passive, all tenses are possible except for few tenses, like present perfect continuous, future perfect continuous, past perfect continuous. Sorry, not past. The roof of the building was damaged. Past tense. A cinema is a place where films are shown. You dashed to the party. Why didn't you go? You were invited to the party. Why didn't you go? The plant is very rare. It is found in very few places. Although we were driving fast, we were overtaken by many cars. In the US, elections for president is held every 4 years. There was an accident last night, but fortunately nobody was injured. Accident did not injure anybody. You can't see this house from the road. It has been surrounded by trees. Yeah, it is surrounded by trees. I never received the letter. It was sent, yeah, it had been sent, yeah, it must have been sent. Sent. T आएगा. The company I work for is owned by. OWNED. Owned by. What about continuous tense? Don't make a noise. I am being disturbed. Okay? I am being disturbed. Shown. Shown आएगा. Number four answer is SHOW and shown. When I saw the house last month, it was being renovated. It was being renovated. Even in the continuous tense, you use the third form of verb. Okay. How about questions? Can we make questions in passive? Yes, we can make questions in passive. Depending on what, how about ask about the glass. How is the glass made? Ask about the television. When was television invented? Ask about mountains. Yes. Where are these mountains seen from? How are these mountains covered, traveled from? Ask about DNA. When was the DNA discovered? What is silver used for? So you can find a lot of exercises. You can see this exercise as well. Somebody cleans the room every day. Room is clean every day. They cancelled all the flights because of fog. All the flights were cancelled. Somebody accused me of stealing. I was accused of. How do you use this word? How is this word used? The price includes all taxes. All taxes are included in price. People warned us not to go out alone. We were warned not to go out. How do you use this word? The price includes all taxes. All taxes are included in price. People warned us. Acha, we don't use this office anymore. This office is not used anymore. They invited 500 people to the wedding. 500 people were invited. Acha, now what are the hindrance of passive voice? Not every sentence can be converted into passive. You need to remember this. Okay? The sentences which contains intransitive verbs, the verbs which do not take any object in a sentence, cannot be converted into passive. The examples are: I go to bed every day at 10 p.m. The baby sleeps well in the morning. Uh, we often walk in the park. They don't have any object in a sentence because object is usually answered with who or what. So there is no question of and similarly we also need not only object but also we need uh, the complete transitive verb. But sometimes we have two verbs or two objects in a sentence. Like I gave this pen to my brother. So there are two objects. My brother was given this pen by me, or this pen was given to my brother by me. So you will find this. Now here you can see the perfect infinitive. Have been done, have been cleaned. Continuous tense, past perfect tense, are being done. Continuous are being done was a verb being done. So this is in order to make your structure better. You have this exercise. I would like you to do it. The situation is serious. Something must be done. With modal verb we use be. Must be done, can be done, should be done, going to be done, used to be done, will be done, ought to be done. Okay. You just come write answers in the comment and just write the blank. Don't need to write complete sentence. Put down your answers in comments. Okay, my bike has disappeared. It has been stolen. My umbrella has disappeared. Somebody has taken my umbrella, or somebody has taken, or my umbrella has been taken by someone. A neighbor of mine disappeared 6 months ago. He has not been seen since then. He has not been seen since then. Walaikum assalam. I think that the screen is visible. Walaikum assalam, everyone. And here we go. We have a friend of mine was stung by this bee recently. Have you ever been stung by the bee? So these are the birds. If you hadn't shouted at the policeman, you would not have been in this situation. You would not have been arrested. So you can use passives in different ways. Now here we go. We are moving towards the end of the session. So I wanted to show you that what are the double or ditransitive verbs. The monotransitive which take one object and ditransitive take two objects. So here my grandfather gave me this watch, very relatable experience. I was given this watch by my grandfather, and this watch was given to me by grandfather. So they are the most common ditransitive: ask, offer, pay, show, tell. So you see the examples. Here we go. Okay, you can